What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kramer, and in this video, I want to share the biggest myths about starting and running a co-hosting business. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so I've been in the co-hosting and Airbnb world for about 3 to 4 years now, and co-hosting was actually the thing that allowed me to drop out of college and not have to get a 9-to-5 job. And I was able to scale my co-hosting business to its peak at 30 units that I was co-hosting. I've now scaled that back because I'm also buying properties of my own. But nonetheless, co-hosting is a phenomenal way to start your real estate or Airbnb entrepreneurial journey. Now, I want to address 3 main myths or misconceptions I hear all the time about co-hosting, and let's go ahead and debunk them. So starting with number 1, co-hosting is passive. That is not true. When you start a co-hosting business, it is very much an active business. Now, are there ways to make it more passive? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, if you're just looking for passive income day one, co-hosting is not the right business for you. What I always say to people who are looking to start a co-hosting business is once you get about 10 properties, you can hire your first virtual assistant or employee. Once you get to 20 properties, you can hire your second virtual assistant or employee. And once you get to 30 properties, you can then hire your third employee or virtual assistant. And at that point, you can fully remove yourself from being attached to your phone. Now, until you get to 30 properties though, you will need to have your phone on you at all times, because if there's an issue and your virtual assistants don't know how to handle it, you are going to be the one who needs to handle it. So right away, myth number 1 debunked. Co-hosting is not a passive business. All right, jumping into myth number 2. This is a heavily debated one of whether or not you need to have your property management license or your real estate license. Now, this varies state to state, and please do your own research. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you legal advice here. But in order to be a co-host, you do not need to have your property management license, your broker's license, your real estate agent license, any of that stuff in most states. Again, do your own research. But in most states and cities, the role of a co-host is really this undefined area that has not been ruled by any legislation, laws, anything like that. It's very similar to Airbnbs, for example, where people started doing Airbnbs and people were like, oh, you can't do a short-term rental here. That's like running a hotel. And people were like, no, that's not running a hotel. This is a short-term rental. This is different. I'm doing it out of my house. And there was like these debates on things that just weren't established in the law yet. That is very much true, again, in my opinion, with co-hosting. There's laws in place for what is a property manager and what makes property management, but a lot of those duties are different when it comes to co-hosting. So in my opinion, is a very much a gray area, but I co-host because I know that there are no laws in the areas that I co-host in that conflict with the property management laws. All right, now moving on to the third biggest misconception and myth about co-hosting is that you need to be local to the area. Okay, that is completely not true. All the properties I co-host and the properties I own are states away from where I live. So you do not need to be local to the area. Now, people are like, Bailey, why would someone hire you if you're not even in the area? This is what I tell them. My job as a co-host is to make sure that their property runs properly and makes the most amount of money. Those things do not require me to personally be there. What I can do remotely is I can do the pricing remotely and make sure that their pricing's optimized. I can create the listing and do the marketing remotely, and I can do the guest communication completely remotely. The things that require someone to be in person are things like cleaning the property, maintaining the property, resupplying the property, and stuff like that, which I don't personally do myself. I hire cleaners to clean the property. I hire handymen to fix the property. So why do I actually have to be there? Well, I don't. That's the whole answer. Is you can absolutely run this business completely remotely. I do it, and I've helped a lot of other people do it as well. So there you have it. Those are the 3 myths about co-hosting. I hope you guys have value of this video. Please let me know your comments, thoughts, opinions down below in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.